an Australian company drilling and producing oil and gas in Austria, in the middle of Europe. I'm Jan Wilhoff for axinocapital, and today with me is Ian Tchacos, the Executive Chairman of ADX Energy. Ian, it's good to have you back here.
Thank you, Jan. It's good to see you again too.
So let's have a quick discussion about your share price. Let's start there. I mean, you have done your drilling and you said you found gas in Austria, a quite substantial gas project, and the share price went up 100% overnight, right? But within like 1 week, the share price has come down. Why is that? Has there been a bad update that we missed? I mean, what I've seen looked pretty good. You've just released an update that you got more samples out of the ground. So what is all of this about?
Yeah, look, I think first of all, there's a lot of traders that get into a stock when you're drilling. First of all, they want to see the drilling results. The next thing they want to see is testing. So obviously, we're not going to be testing this well till October, but there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of data we've received from the discovery well, and there's a lot more we'll be able to say about the well as we go forward. Now, I think for you to understand, when we went in to drill this well, it's a very big structure, big resource potential. So it's a well that we wanted to drill because it was relatively shallow and relatively cheap and in a good place to develop hydrocarbons. Now, the chance of success was 20%. Now, we've actually made the discovery, so the chance of actually technical success is 100%. Now, we're going to the next stage, which will be evaluating the data and then testing in October. So it's still, I mean, you know, it's a technical success. It's not a commercial success, but the risks are being diminished as we go through. So yes, the share price went up very high. What we saw is a lot of day traders got into the stock. They pushed it high and then they sold. So I think, unfortunately, there's a lot of people who make money on volatility, not long-term value. But the pleasing thing now is we're getting a lot of inquiries from institutions, both in Europe, UK, and Asia, because they can see the long-term benefit of something like well chow and how unusual it is to have a potential resource of the size of this in the middle of Europe. So what we have here is significant, and I think over time you'll see, I don't give share price predictions, but you will see a general firming as we release more data and we interpret all the information that we received during the well. So the well went very well. We got everything we wanted. We would have liked some more samples, but on Monday of this week, when we opened one of the downhole samplers, we realised we got samples of condensate and a potentially light oil. So that needs to be further analysed. We also got a good gas composition, which hasn't got anything nasty in it, very low carbon dioxide, very low nitrogen. So everything's looking good.
All right, that sounds good. So just for my understanding, I think the stock has been at 11 cents before you released your results. Then we went up to, I think, 23 cents. Now we're back at 11. But you're not saying this is because you had a bad update or something. This is just because of day trader. We're even in a better position than like 2 or 3 weeks ago before you did the drilling, because you're now more confident. And I think we can see a great run in October as well. Can you confirm that?
Yeah, look, I think it's a mistake to be short-term price focused. I think, you know, obviously yesterday we were trading 12.5, 13. Today we closed at 11.5. So I think what we also have seen is quite often European shareholders come in. We see some selling off at the end of the day, and then European shareholders coming in at the beginning of the day. So look, it's a trend that will continue. I suspect in the next 2 weeks we will have digested a lot of the information, and we'll be able to come out with, if you like, more information on the well that's not just data driven, but actually analysis driven. So we can talk a little bit more about the size of the container, what we found in the container, and what this might lead to in terms of the resource potential. And now we're not talking about a prospective resource. which is an exploration well. We talk about a contingent resource, which is what you have when you have something that is yet to be commercialized.
Okay, great. So let's fast forward a little bit to October. Then you think you can continue your exploration work at Welchow. What are the next steps? Maybe in easy words for non-technical investors.
Yeah, well, I mean, what we're working towards now is a revision of our resource estimates for Welchow based on the data that we got in the Welchow 1 well. And then when we test the well in October, what that'll confirm is that the large column of condensate-rich gas can flow at commercial rates. That's what we want to prove. And we also will get a better, if you like, understanding of the exact hydrocarbon nature, what is the exact composition. So also what we're looking for is this got the same composition as the historic Mullen well, which is down dip. And if it is, then it just would also demonstrate that a lot of this area is filled with very similar hydrocarbons, which was not only just a good thing for Welchow, but could also be a good thing for further exploration in the area.
All right, sounds good. Let's talk about one more thing, because you don't just do exploration work, you're also going to be a substantial, or you are already a producer of oil and gas, but you have a substantial project called Anthoff, and Anthoff 3 will be back and producing this year, by the mid of this year. Could this also be a potential driver for your share price? Is this also something investors should be looking for?
Yeah, look, certainly. We should be able to announce within a week or so the reintroduction of production from Anthoff 3, and obviously that'll add more cash flow and more production. And then we'll also be able to discuss, further plans for Anthoff. But we're also looking at drilling further wells as well, another gas well in Upper Austria. So we'll also be able to talk more about that. So I think, right now the focus is on Welchow, but obviously we'll be going back and if you like, also working on our production and further exploration.
All right, Ian, thank you very much for your time, for your insights. It was great talking to you, and we are all hoping for another boom in the share price pretty soon. Would be great, and thank you very much for your update.
We'll see what we can do. Thank you, Jan. All the best.
All the best. Ian, thank you.